contest of speed.
Contest of speed.
Contest of speed.
Contest of speed.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Contest of Speed. We are here tonight with EU3 for the Qatar Grand Prix. I am D Summers 90 and I am joined with Grelis.
Hello, good evening everyone. Welcome back. We're here in Doha, Qatar at the Sail International Circuit. It's a track I enjoyed quite a lot, Summers, so I'm looking forward to tonight's race.
It's a very polarizing track as far as I can tell. It's one of the tracks I don't mind racing. I'm not specifically quick at this track, but it's not a bad one to race. There are drivers out there who do not enjoy racing it at all. I'm not going to mention names. That's all I'm going to say. I just know that there are quite a few drivers out there who do not enjoy driving Qatar, hence why we have only 10 drivers currently on the grid tonight, which is a bit of an upset because, you know, EU3 was going well before Christmas. We had, minimum 15 drivers each week?
Yeah, something like that.
And since the break, it has gone down. But it's unfortunate, but we carry on as we've got Nathan putting in a couple of laps early on. Now, we have to remember he is on no TC and manual gears and is still practicing to make himself a faster driver overall. I know personally that this is a relatively tricky track for him. We did some practice together and he was, let's say, not lighting up the timing boards, but he was able to get around with minimal incidents. So hopefully it goes well for him tonight.
This will be a good test. I think we'll have to see how many penalties other people get. If you can keep penalties low, you might be on some good points.
Yes, this is one of the tracks where the track limits are abundant on the game. A lot of people will come across the line with 3 seconds or even more.
So, I think we could see even more than 3.
Yes.
Could we be on for penalty bingo with only 10 drivers?
Potentially. Let's ride on board with Nathan, and that was a bad time for me. That was a bad time for me to go on board with him. I apologise, Nathan. Go and repair your wing.
All day for that.
Yeah, he's going to blame me for the next week, and probably months after that as well. We'll come away from Nathan and we will watch. I believe
Kev.
It is Kev, yes.
Yes.
We will go on board with Kev instead.
Yeah, I think Kev actually got a more normal amount of battery. Going into the start of that lap with Nathan, he had about 56%, which was lower than I expected. But coming out of the corner, Nathan failed. He's able to get the power down properly, likely on not zero traction. using all the track he can as he makes his way through this first half of Sector 2. I hate this left-hander. I never seem to judge the braking properly, but getting on throttle and keeping tight to the left will gain you just that little bit of time over anyone else around the track. Into Sector 3, we have 3 fast right-handers. Do not lift off that throttle. 1, 2, and 3. Comes into the penultimate corner, left-hander again. Do not lift all the way through. A little bit of a straight. One last corner. Will he be able to pull it off without invalidating? Hopefully he will. It's at the first time of the session to set a 1:22.656.
Not a bad lap for his first lap out tonight. And with the way that this track goes, these drivers are just going to get faster and faster as the night continues.
Yeah, I think 1:22.6 is a good bar to set. I'm not sure how many of the drivers will be creeping up to that at the early stage of this session. But as you say, the later on we get, the faster this track is going to become.
Yes. We have Nilby starting his first flying lap, but he is going to be coming along to traffic, and that is the traffic of Real Ashton Army and Sanderdam. Hopefully they do not impede him on his lap, otherwise that will be, if it is deemed an impede by the stewards, then it will mean a quali ban for the next race for the driver.
Yeah, Nilby's going well here. I love to see a Haas going well. He's not invalidated, which is good stuff. Through Sector 1, he set a personal best at least. We'll see if that purple Sector 1 sticks around. Sanderdam does well to get out of the way here as he puts the power down into the right-hander. That purple has disappeared, so I'm assuming
it stayed around long enough. I believe that was a fastest sector. It was a 30.8. Right.
Fair enough. He's got a bit deep into that left-hander. I do that a lot. But he stuck it through, kept it left into the final sector now. Flat through the first, flat through the second, and flat through the third. He will go. He's got a little bit wide, but he's just kept it in. That's not the ideal line. You'll bleed time by having to over-rotate the front of the car to bring it back in by missing the apex on the inside. Final corner now. Get that power down. Get ready to open the DRS. He's still got enough battery to take him over the line. It should be a good lap.
23.1, not quite as good as Kevin's lap. That's a little bit of a surprise, to be fair.
Yeah, a whole half second it's not a small difference rather around this track.
I will say the final right-hander out of that triple right and the left-hander after it, if you do not nail those, you drop time.
You can bleed a lot of time.
You will bleed a lot of time, so...
He's continued to drop over the course of those 2 corners, like you say, and then the straight into the final corner.
So we are now on board with Sanderdam, watching him for his first flyer. Let's see what the Aston can do. That is another purple Sector 1.
Yeah, Sanderdam is a potential favourite here as FRL Big Balls goes faster again. Not a huge amount faster, but I'm sure I'll be happy with even a little bit of an improvement. 1:22.6 almost, slightly under. I reckon Sanderdam could be on to beat that by the look of this lap.
It's keeping it tight to the left through that corner as well, as you quite rightly put. Keeping it tight to the left will give you that little bit extra when it comes to time.
Yeah, flat through 12, 13, 14 and 15. All good stuff. Not much battery left as he comes through 16 onto the final start finish straight to open that DRS and burn the battery. Not going to have as much top speed as the rest, but I think that's not going to matter anyway. 1:22.482 new pole time, or provisional pole time anyway.
Just like to say that is over a tenth faster than what Kev had put down previously.
It is. However, I don't think Kev put new tyres on for that lap.
That is true.
So we could see a bit more from him.
He stayed out and did the second lap on a scrub set of soft tyres. As we have Nathan going round, who has invalidated his lap, unfortunately. We will jump on with Heavy, who's just started his first flying lap.
Yeah, again, Heavy, I think, a victim of the not turning hot lap off while on the outlap. He's not got too much battery as he comes into the final two quarters of sector one. Very, very oversteery. He's taking very tight lines there,
Yeah.
avoiding the exit curb at all costs. Oh, he's
Oh,
almost kicked the rear out as he comes out of that hairpin, a lot like Nathan did earlier, but he keeps it facing in a straight line. Coming out right-hander of 7, small kink of 8. It's not really a corner, you're flat through there. 9 as well, and then 10, this left-hander.
your favourite
10.
corner. Oh, and he's gone
He's
wide,
gone
but has...
wide, but he's not invalidated.
He must have
I think,
lifted off.
yeah, he must have lifted off for lost time. I'll be interested to see if he's flat through these. He's just kept it in. I thought that was off, but he's
Yeah,
just kept
same
it in. He's
here.
not invalidated yet. Through the penultimate corner. I didn't actually see if he was flat through there. But one more corner to go for Heavy in the kick. Sauber burning all that battery he's got left. Open the DRS and across the line. He will set a 1:24.908.
I have a feeling he's not going to be best pleased with that lap, but he is going to continue on tonight as we see Dougie getting out of the way of two drivers who are following him. I don't know if that was intentional or whether he might have had a bit of a spin and went out wide. All I saw was him on the map. Let's get on with Ashton now on his first flying lap. Let's see what he can do in his Mercedes. Actually, saying that, his teammate is about to come across the line. We will watch Andre cross the line, and it is P3 for now with a 1:22.929. So not a bad lap. Not the best
No,
lap, but not a bad lap. It's a good lap for a banker.
it's a good banker lap. Yeah, I think with this track you really have to build up. If you invalidate on your first lap, it just takes all the confidence out of your second lap or third lap if you're trying to get through him. And confidence around a track where track limits are so tight is necessary.
Okay, I'm not certain, I think Ashton just set a purple sector 1.
Well, if he did, that'd be very impressive from the Mercedes driver who, well, he's not been as quick in the past. We raced him in the EU4 rather, in season
Yes.
13. And
Personal
he's come a
best
long
in
way since
sector
then.
2 there.
Yeah, he's come a long way since then in this league. It's been quite impressive to watch the progress.
He's
We'll
just
see
been
where
taking his time, learning what to do, and taking it on board. And it's good
Yeah.
to see progression from drivers.
Yeah, we'll see where this lap puts him. It's a 1:23.130, not much quicker than the Haas of Neilby, but it will be enough to put him P4 just behind his teammate. It's not quite the 1:22 that his teammate got, but I think he'll be happy with that
Here
with a
comes
banker.
Nolby across the line to make it a 1:22.766 for the Haas, putting him into P3 for now.
Yeah, I think it was just a matter of time before Neilby improved on that lap.
Dougie coming across 1:23.5. Again, it's a decent banker. He knows that he can probably go faster. And I'm pretty sure I know that Dougie can go faster because he is a driver that we have raced in EU4. And a couple of our friends have raced last season in EU3 as well. So, let's see. We have Sanderdam starting another flying lap.
Sanderdam already on pole by over 1/10 of a second. He's looking to improve that time so that he's got a nice clear gap from the back of the pack and just can forget about the rest of the drivers on this grid tonight. It's a purple sector 1, at least for now. Going to look like he's going to keep it. He's just gone wide and he's validated through the exit of turn 7. That's unfortunate.
I just want to say hello to the Twitch chat, and yes, Heavy. Believe me, it's one of my worst tracks as well, but keep at it, and you'll get there. Don't worry. You just push.
It's a tricky track.
It's difficult, but once you get into the flow, you'll be fine.
Impressive for those who do well on this track, on controller especially.
Ashton has had enough of quali and is retired from the session. He's happy enough with his time as Sanderdam decides to come in from his invalidated lap. So we've
Yeah,
got
I think you'll like to take a new fresh set of softs, considering they're no good in a race. Try and get a third lap before the timer runs out.
and Kev is happy enough with his time and also retires from the session. We are riding on board with Nathan again and see what he can do this time around. See if he can get himself a time on the board.
I think he will. He's clearly learnt from his hairpin mistake. He had issues with that corner in our practice session that you mentioned earlier yesterday, and that's obviously because of the zero traction control.
Yes.
It's the slowest corner on the track, so getting the power down out of there is not easy, and even I had a bit of a slip out there.
Done. He actually did that pretty much perfectly.
Much more controlled. Good to see. Now he's got to do the rest of the lap though.
True.
Good to see him flat there. Off the throttle and the brakes. Gradually bring it back in. Stick to the left if you can.
I have noticed he does like to short shift.
Yeah, short shifting is always going to help you somewhat in zero traction control. It's not something I would get someone to rely on.
No, it's handy.
It's a short-term fix.
Yeah, it's handy, especially in the lower gears, especially when there's a lot of traction happening. And there we go. He has got a time on the board of a 1:26.4. So next to come across the line will be Andre to start a lap. Let's actually go on this one.
As he takes turn one, he's got a lot of traffic up ahead. It's going to be quite annoying to get through this as they don't get out the way very nicely. One does in the McLaren, that's Nathan. He's got three up ahead. Heavy, I believe, in the Sauber, who's actually let a Haas through. He's gonna, well, I don't want to see this. Hopefully they notice. Heavy's got out of the way nicely. That's good stuff into the hairpin. The Haas is maybe the Haas is on a lap. I'm not sure. He's gunning for it. I'm not sure if that's X427 or Neilby. But the Aston that's also got out of the way very nicely. They go through turn 7 into 8.
Neilby ahead because he's still on his outlet.
Okay, so
427 has started.
Neilby is on his outlap. He's kicking out of the way for now. Hoping he lets him pass before. Yeah, it looks like it's going to let him pass before 12, 13, and 14. The last place you want to have a car in front of you is these three corners here. You'll bleed so much time.
This is where George Russell had Verstappen in front of him this season, wasn't it?
Oh, was it?
Yes.
That was a bit of controversial stuff, wasn't it?
Yes.
In qualifying.
So.
Well, he's got out of the way this time. And that lap would put him in P2. 22.520.
We will jump on with X427, about to do a one-lap wonder around Qatar, which is...
and, he's not invalidated somehow.
It's a risky move, because you only get the one chance, and if he had invalidated there, he would have blown his chance clean out of the water.
Yeah, I'm not hopeful for this, considering that wasn't an invalid lap. Although it's good enough to put him P4, I reckon he would have been much further up if he had not gone off.
I am wondering if him and Neilby are both using the same setup, because they have basically set the exact same time, give or take a few hundredths.
Yeah, we've got a close grid at the top.
We do have one driver we haven't seen out on the track tonight, and that is Piney Penguin, coming round the final corner now. Where is he going to sit himself for this qualifying?
Another one-lap wonder. He's been doing this a lot. P6, 122.780. That makes the top 6 in the 122s.
So we've got Andre, then we have Neilby behind him. Andre is on an in-lap, because he set his fast lap. So is Neilby going to improve on his 122.7? No, he does not. Then we have Dougie, no, not Dougie, sorry, Sandy Dam, who sets a 121.9.
He's only got him blowing him out of the water.
And Havey made a massive improvement there of 0.5, half a second improvement. So
I think he'd be happy with that.
I would say he'd be pretty happy with that. And finally, to come across the line, we have Dougie. Let's see where this puts him. Does he move
Plenty
up?
of battery.
He does. Wow, up to fourth.
P4.
What a lap by Dougie. Well done, man. That was an amazing lap.
Yeah, the two Astons, 1 and 4. I think they'll be very happy with that, considering the downfall of Red Bull since Almanac has. Well, he's not even been here for the last few races.
No, he hasn't. It's the first race Sandidam has done since the Christmas break. So Dougie will be pleased to see his teammate back in action.
Definitely.
The Haas boys are not going to be best pleased about that fact, because I believe they were pretty hopeful for tonight's race. But they ended up being 5th and 6th.
I think there's a long race ahead. 5th and 6th is not bad. Slap bang in the middle, which you might not want to be into turn 1. But
Agreed.
That's where they've got themselves.
Oh dear, that was surprisingly, even though we've only got half a grid, that was a brilliant quali session.
Yeah, I mean, P3 to 7 is what, 2/10?
Something along those
Less
lines.
than 2/10?
Yeah. I have a feeling a lot of people are going to be very close together throughout this race.
Hopefully. I want to see some racing.
Yes. And we have Charlie in the chat saying Andre to win. So we're just waiting for the drivers to solidify their strategies. I hope that you have your... I'm having encoding issues apparently, so there we go.
No.
Game died. Sorry, guys. Crying out loud. Send me the invite as quick as you can. I am loading back in. Crying out loud. What is wrong with this game? What is wrong with my connection to it? So while this is loading up, guys, I will do this. So in the last race, we had Andre win. We had Kev come in 2nd place and Dougie in 3rd. Didn't change too much for the Drivers' Championship, apart from Andre overtaking Sandidam for 2nd place. Dougie moved up 6 places. I do apologise. I've just spotted this. He moved up 6 places to 10th in the standings. We also have the constructors to look at. So we have got Red Bull still ahead of the Haas drivers in 2nd. Mercedes moved past Aston Martin in the constructors from Monza. So it's going to be an interesting race because we have both Mercedes and both Haas in the race tonight. So
Have you had any of these invites?
yes, I got. It was in my inbox.
Okay, cool.
Spectate. There we go. Has the race started?
It has. Unfortunately, you have missed the first lap.
I do apologise, guys. I need to probably uninstall F124 and reinstall it because this is happening way too often now.
Are we back?
We are back, yes. Let's get the track.
Thank you very much.
Back up.
Okay, so we've had a few move on the first lap. 2 passes up, 1 each. Dougie has dropped behind those 2. Heavy has overtaken Real Ashen Army, but other than that, we have got a little bit of train going on here.
And I mean, as long as everyone finishes this race, everyone gets points. Oh, as Piney goes wide behind Dougie there through turn 5, I believe that was.
Yeah, I think the prediction of Andre to win this race is not definitely not going to happen. He's managed to keep Sandidam in that 1 second gap at the front, whilst the rest of the pack have fallen off. Nathan has dropped out of the DRS from the back, but other than that, P3 to 9 are all in DRS just about.
P3 to 8.
Yeah, heavy. I think he will get back
He's
in.
dipping in and out, isn't he? Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's go
What about
back.
tyres? Let's look at tyres.
Let's have a see what people have chosen. So the majority of the field are on medium tyres, whereas Kev and Nathan have both opted for the hard tyres to start. Honestly, I think that would be the better game plan, since you are on heavier fuel. You need to get the energy into the tyres, get the heat into the tyres. They will last longer than the mediums, and then it means later on in the race, when you go to switch onto your mediums, you will have the lighter car. You will be able to go faster.
This is true for people that want to get through the pack or keep a P1 or P2 position. You've got someone on mediums behind. You can't let them get away.
So the only change at the moment, as Real Ashton Army has actually got past heavy again, the only moves are X427 and Neilby both getting past Doug.
Yeah, those two at the back in 8 and 9 have dropped the DRS, so we're likely to see those changing into turn 1 quite regularly.
So we're going to keep on with Kev here, as he has the closest drivers behind him, with 427 right on his diffuser, as Piney Penguin picks up the first 3-second penalty of the night. As I
Andre
said,
sets the fastest lap.
and 427 gets past Kev because of DRS. Now
yeah, those
is
few Hasses are going to be more than pleased they get that RB out of the way on those hard tyres. They're going to have much more pace on these first opening laps.
I was going to say, is 427 now looking to pull away, as Kev actually goes wide through turns 4 and 5. And Piney goes wide again through turn 5.
Yeah, so easy to do it around here, especially on this high fuel.
High fuel, and also being in the wake of the car ahead. Yeah, you lose a lot of downforce when you are following cars. So let's have a look. The closest battle right now is Neilby right behind Kev. Is he going to try and get a pass before? He's so close behind him through these fast corners now. That is a risky move.
Yeah, he's lost a little bit through turn 13 there. He's took a spray.
Can you get Heavy back in, please? He is just disconnected.
Yeah, I can't.
Oh, as Dougie goes wide through the final corner, and that lets Piney Penguin squeeze up the inside of the start-finish straight there. Into turn 1 they go, as Andre and Sandidam have completely broken away. He got 3 seconds ahead. And I didn't even notice that 427 has picked up a 3-second penalty as well. So
yeah, he's not going to...
He's really going to have to push now. Either that or push Kev back into Neilby to get Neilby past him.
I think unfortunately those mediums maybe just lost their advantage over the hards at this point. Kev is maintaining pace with that Haas in front.
And to be fair, through the corners, he is gaining. He's gone from being 7 tenths behind, he is now 2 tenths behind X427. I have a feeling 427 might be having issues with his tyres. He might not be enjoying those movements right now.
Yeah, Piney and Dougie just sat behind Neilby here in DRS, waiting for their opportunity. Piney with that unfortunate 3-second penalty. I can see where he got that. He'll hopefully keep that to a minimum.
You say that and he goes wide through the final corner. You jinxed someone that time.
No, he does that all the time. He would have done it whether I said it or not.
Your words, not mine.
Of course. I take full liability. Andre is dropped out of that 1 second, but he's back in it and he's back out again. And he's dropping time. Is he going to keep it in? I'm not too sure.
Let's see what
It looks
here.
It looks like this could be the lap.
Kev is now back ahead of 427. So I don't believe I caught it, or if I did, I was too busy listening to what you were saying. But yes, we have Sanderdam in first, Andre in second, and Kev in third, but he is 3.5 seconds down from the front two.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a race between the front two and then the rest of the grid.
I will say, I commend Nathan, because even though he is 12 seconds behind the back of the pack, he's not stopping. He's just going to carry on. He knows he's going to get a point if he finishes the race.
It's not only that he's going to get a point, but he's going to get all his practice as well. 29 laps of practice around one, possibly
And
the
we
hardest
have-
tracks in this game.
Heavy has left again. Can we get him another invite, please? So let's see what is going to happen on these next few laps. I would expect if 427 was struggling on those mediums, I would suspect he would come in sooner than Neilby. Oh, Piney diving up the inside of the hairpin there. Almost got the move on Neilby, but didn't get the traction down.
Yeah, a little bit of contact there. We'll hope that's not wing damage, because wing damage around this track is
He
painful.
is missing his right end plate.
Piney.
It was
Every week.
it was a bit of a brash move, but to be honest, if you are feeling you are faster than the driver ahead, the hairpin is probably one of the places where you could go for a move without using DRS. The rest of the track is a little bit iffy for that, but the hairpin is heavy braking. You can roll the car through, and yeah, as Piney,
He's almost missed the pit lane. That was close. Yeah, I think, and this is where I go by anyway, but if you can't make the move into turn one here, don't bother trying anywhere else, because it's easiest into turn one.
I mean, it is easiest, but if you had the opportunity to go up the inside on the hairpin because you knew you were the faster driver, would you not take it?
Well, no, because it's resulted in wing damage and an extra pit stop.
If you could get through without gaining wing damage.
I personally wouldn't take the risk.
Well, that's
Especially
fair
on,
enough. I mean, I have done that move in the past.
No
and I've
ABS
pulled it off.
is cruel.
True.
If I go for a move there, I'm locking up and taking both of us away.
As 427 has now dropped out of the DRS of Kev.
Yeah, Kev has got those hards into a nice working window, whilst those mediums are just dropping off now. 8 laps, they're going to drop off compared to the hards. Still a decent amount of pace in them, and they don't feel bad, at least from what I figured yesterday, but those hards just got the longevity in them.
Because there we go, 427 dives into the pits, releasing his teammate to try and hunt down Kev, who is now 2.7 seconds ahead.
Yeah, it's understandable, but I don't know, 20 laps on hards, is that doable?
I would say it probably is. The left side of your car will be screaming at the end, but it is doable. You never know. We might get to the point where we have our first ever puncture in EU3.
We could, maybe. We'll see. Oh, bit of a slide out of the hairpin of turn 6 there from Kev. Got to keep that in check. 2 seconds to Andre. Is he gaining?
I believe he is. He's brought that down from 2.5
1.9
seconds.
He's definitely gaining, especially through those twisted turn corners.
You do have to
Twisted turn
remember
corners.
that both Andre and Sanderdam are on the medium tyres. We have a yellow flag that is 427 going slow in the hair.
Is it?
It was, yes. As soon as it flashed up a yellow flag, you look at the map and I saw who.
Was it not Nathan?
No, it wasn't Nathan.
Okay, fair enough. I thought it was Nathan. I think he might have had an incident, but we'll see where X427 comes out compared to his teammate when he pits, whenever that'll be.
Andre
Which
and
is now.
Nilby have both dived into the pits, meaning that Kev is now on the hunt for Sandydam. And it also releases Dougie and Real Ashton Army. And Heavy as well. All of these drivers are yet to pit.
It's a big gap between some of these drivers now.
It is.
Here comes the Haas of X427. You know, I don't think it was X427. I think it was Nathan who had the incident in the hairpin, because he's come out just in front of his teammate, exactly where he left him.
Potentially.
Because Piney's pit and he's already ahead of Nathan.
We will have a look. Is Nathan getting himself... Yep, he is having a nose change, so you are correct. He is changing his front wing.
Yeah, he's going to put some medium tyres on. After having started on the hards, it's going to look like a two-stopper for him at least.
Yeah, that's unfortunate because it's one of those tracks where you don't want to stop too many times as Sanderdam comes into the pits, which now releases Kev into the lead of the race.
Yeah, Charlie's on the same page as me. Going to be a two-stop for Nathan. Those mediums will not last 19 laps.
That is very, very true. As I found out yesterday when we did our practice.
Tiny penguin! Stop it! That's 6 seconds for the man in papaya.
Is he going to get enough penalties for Nathan to overtake him?
I mean, that's a lot of penalties you're talking.
I know, but it can happen.
Surely he'd be disqualified by then.
I mean, we've had up to almost a minute for penalties, but I will say it was a combination of things. It was speeding in the pit lane, it was track limits, and collisions.
Everything you could wish for.
Basically, yes. And I think it was like 56 seconds of time penalties. So, we will watch Sanderdam as he... Well, actually, no. We will watch the back of the Haas boys as 47 gets himself another penalty. He is...
6 seconds.
He's not enjoying this track.
Yeah, it's almost like a domino effect. When the first one falls, all the rest come with it.
Yeah, it's a very difficult track to get back into the groove of the lap if you do go wide, just because of the way the track is, as we have Sanderdam passing Heavy under DRS along the start-finish straight, moving himself up into third, which at the moment is provisional second, because we still have... Actually, no, he would still be in provisional first. My apologies. Net first place, because both Kev and Ashton have yet to pit. As Nathan picks up a 3-second penalty. Let's have a look at the numbers here. So we have both 427 and Piney on 6 seconds. Nathan has only just picked up his first 3-second penalty. So he is doing better on no traction than his teammate on full traction.
He is, in terms of penalties. He is 44 seconds behind.
That is true, but he knows that he is still in learning for no traction and manual gears.
And in the points. Pablo's getting excited again, and he's going to get upset when he realizes that
Yeah.
Real National Army hasn't pitted yet.
Yes, he is still to pit, but we do currently have Andre in net P2, I believe.
Yes. Yeah, we got Andre P2, Sandalam P1 as far as pit stops go.
Let's see, who is the closest battle right now? So, it's not exactly a battle, but it is Nilby following behind his teammate of 427.
He's actually dropped out of DRS.
He has. We are very accustomed to 427 and Nilby running line astern in EU3 this season. They very much did this at Baku. I believe they tried to do it last week at Monza, but it didn't exactly work out the way they wanted.
It's quite impressive that their pace is this similar.
I mean, as long as their driving styles are similar, then the same setup for both of them will be good enough. As Sandidam passes Ashton when he comes into the pits there. And Andre gets past Heavy because he comes into the pits.
I think Kev may have had a small incident in turn 1. I saw a yellow flag very briefly. It doesn't seem to affect him too much, but his car looks a bit gravelly. Those hard tyres may be starting to slip out a little bit now. He's got a few more laps to go before he gets onto what I assume will be medium tyres. So just keep it on track. Keep those warnings away.
Keep it between the white lines is the best way to put it. Let's see what is going on behind here. So, we have Kev in P1, 14 seconds ahead of Sandidam, who is then 6 seconds ahead of Andre. Sandidam and Andre have pitted. Kev is still to pit. So, if Sandidam and Andre and even 427 and Nilby can get a bit of a push on, as Sandidam makes a slight mistake out of the penultimate corner there, if they can get a push on, they can potentially make a large gap between themselves and Kev, and the Haas boys could potentially get ahead of Kev after the pits.
Yeah, Piney Penalty Penguin picks up another 3 seconds track limits. That puts him to 9 seconds, 12 if you include his teammates.
I'm sorry, I couldn't help but laugh at the name you gave him.
I didn't hear anything. Anyway.
I'll clip it later, it's fine.
13 and a half seconds between Sandidam and Kev. I'm going to be interested to see where Kev comes out here. Not only because I think he'll be much further back, but because we could see some overtaking on some fresh medium tyres. And some battling would be much appreciated at this moment in time.
So, let's see. We have got Nilby still around that 1 second mark behind his teammate, followed by Dougie, who is 3.2 seconds behind Nilby. Everyone has kind of spread out a bit except for the Haas boys at this moment in time. We are just waiting for Kev to jump into the pits, jump onto those mediums, and start going even faster than he currently is. As Piney goes up to 12 seconds of penalties.
See if Charlie points it out again this time in the chat.
It's not a track that Piney enjoys. I know this.
No.
Everyone in EU3 knows it because he hasn't stopped saying it. But yeah,
I don't know what you're talking about, Charlie. Look at the racing we've got going on here. And in fact, we might have some racing now that Piney has these penalties. Because at the moment, he's actually behind P8 and 9 with those 12 seconds of penalties. He wasn't when he just had the 9, as they are almost 10 seconds ahead. Or behind, rather. He seems to be gaining, so it's not impossible that he can regain that P7. But if the penalties keep rolling in as they have done, I'm not hopeful.
yeah, and if Ashton and Heavy realise that Piney has this many penalties ahead of them, we know that they're going to go on a massive push to try and close up that gap.
They're going to get a wriggle on. They're going to make like a worm and get a wriggle on, that's for sure.
And we have Kev in the pits.
Yep. You've seen it. You've seen it. He's on to the medium tyres. Loses that to Andre. Is he going to get out in front of the Hasses? It looks like he should do.
Oh, it's going to be close.
It's close.
Oh.
He's going to have to get some temperature into those tyres quickly. Otherwise, X427 is going to look to make a move.
I just wish to say thank you for the follow, Go. Welcome in. If you want to join the league, there is the Discord link. Just become part of the community or become a driver. We are always looking for new drivers. And yeah, hope you enjoy the racing.
Nathan doing his best season 13 Real Ashnami impression and letting through Sanderdam.
I believe he is also going to be letting Andre through once Andre has crept up onto his tail. Although Nathan has lost his left end plate.
Oh, he's got some...
And
that looks like the same damage from earlier. I don't think it is the same damage from earlier.
No,
he might
he
have made
definitely...
the same mistake.
He definitely changed his wing earlier on.
But the exact same damage. 3 of the little fins in the wing missing as well as the end plate.
I believe they are called strakes, is the technical term.
No clue.
I just call them fins.
Nathan!
Oh, Nathan!
Why?
You knew you were on for points.
He's put a new wing on anyway. Don't know why he's done that.
Charlie, you're saying that he's washed, but he's 1, on wheel and pedals. 2, he's on no traction, and 3, he's on manual gears.
And he has a family to look after. He's not got time to sweat this game.
That's probably why he's so washed. He's been bathing his kids.
His hands are squeaky clean.
He is.
Piney up to 15 seconds of penalties.
Really? Did I miss one?
I think you might have missed one. 15 seconds is not going to do him any good. I refer to my previous nickname of Piney Penalty Penguin. Striking again.
Charlie, we know that you're the one who sweats the game.
First of all, I did not sweat the game. Second of all, the fact that you're 4/10 faster than me around this track in time trial is a joke.
Especially with that setup.
Sometimes you miss like 3.
Yeah, 3 seconds, apparently.
I'm not surprised with that. Fastest lap by Kev in the RB on those fresh medium tyres. He's on the hunt for Andre. Just 1.7 seconds between the two with 10 laps to go. I'm sure that will not last very long. P2 is within reaching distance now.
So
Thank you, Charlie.
Go. We have EU3 on Tuesdays every week. We have EU2 and AM2 on Wednesdays every week. And we have AM1 and EU1 on Thursdays every week. 9 p.m. GMT. And for the American side, it is 9 p.m. Eastern, if I am not mistaken.
I think that's right. It's all UK time. I've no idea
But
what Charlie's on about.
I think Charlie is talking for the EU side of.
Yeah, unless you're going to be staying up until what is it 2 a.m. here for the
I
American
think it's
races?
2 a.m. for the UK. It would be 3 a.m. for the majority of Europe.
I think you should watch them, but it is very late.
They are very interesting races. They are good fun to watch. And
Yes,
of course, we
I
have
watched
Pablo in one of those races as well, who is currently in the chat but being very quiet because he knows that he is the Mercedes jinx when it comes to EU side.
He's the jinx. Forget the Mercedes jinx. He's jinxed every name under the sun. He'll go from one driver to the next, jinxing them.
True. That is very true.
He knows it.
So we have actually got Andre right up behind Kev now.
Well, he is, but I don't think he's going to be for much longer. Those medium tyres are absolutely flying, even if he's got a slight kick out of that turn 6 hairpin, which I think we just caught on stream earlier. The second gap has been broken already before we've even got halfway through to sector 2. 7.3 seconds to Sanderdam. Do you reckon he's sweating a little bit?
Oh, I think Kev is on the right royal push. He is doing everything he can to catch up to Sanderdam at this point. But what he has to make sure is that he doesn't burn out his medium tyres. Because with this track being the way it is, the mediums do die off faster than most other tracks.
Yeah, I think
Another
a little bit of
fastest
insider
lap.
information here. From Sanderdam, his fastest lap was on the second lap of hards. His second fastest lap was on the last lap. So he's going to try and get a wriggle on, it seems.
I mean, he has just seen Kev put in another extremely fast lap.
A 1:24.296, which is bloody quick. Actually,
Yeah,
it's
for
about
being
5/10
for
faster
being
than his second lap
during
was.
the race and still having fuel on board. That is quick.
Yeah, he's looking for this P1. It seems 5.6 seconds the gap now.
And he's already gapped
Jeez.
Andre to 3.6. That's how
getting a little bit
much of a
exciting.
disparity there is. Is Kev going to catch Sanderdam before the end of this race? That I will say, though, there is a difference between catching him and passing him.
Oh, that old adage, eh?
Yep, if Sanderdam plays it right and if he defends well, then it doesn't matter if Kevin catches up to him. Sanderdam could
No.
really push it through to the end of the race. Defend like hell.
Hey, Summers,
I know.
what's Naples doing?
21.
Seconds of penalties. Let's go.
As we have got Dougie tucked up behind Piney. Decided not to go for the move into turn 1. He's just going to follow him around, wait for him to go off track again and make the pass. No doubt. As Kev is now down to 4.5 seconds behind Sanderdam. The man is absolutely flying. And we will get back onto him relatively soon. I just want to see if Dougie is going to be able to make the pass on Piney. Maybe even before the DRS zone.
Well, it would be nice to see him move before then, but I'm not going to hope for one. As the pass into turn 1 is going to be so much easier for him, whilst Piney has no DRS on anyone else. I just wanted to note that if we split all of the 3-second penalties between the remaining drivers, we would have penalty bingo. But unfortunately, only 2 of them have the penalties, so we don't have penalty bingo.
Oh, I just saw Dougie is flashing. Is he out of battery or is he recharging?
That man is not out of battery. I'll let you know that. But he's not keen to get past, is he?
No, I think he's planning on just using Piney through the lap, use his battery throughout the lap, recharge on the straight when he's got the DRS, and then make the pass on the final lap.
Or, hear me out, maybe he can hear us and he's going to go for an absolutely stellar move into turn 6 right now. I was wrong.
Not the first time, not the last.
Whatever.
As we have Kev now bringing it down to 3.2 seconds to Sandidam. He has
sweating.
He has 6 laps to go. You can see Sandidam on the camera. There is the Aston Martin ahead of him. Kev is now going to put the monumental push of a lifetime to try and catch the back of Sandidam, to try and make this as much as interesting as he can for us.
Yeah, these two are absolutely going for it. No battery spared as they go into turn 1.
A little bit of news from the pit lane. Apparently Nathan retired because he was using Charlie's TT setup and didn't know that he had changed it to a 50-48-4 race. So it turns out that I know Charlie's TT setup, and it's a 38-38 wing. It's an equal wing. And,
allegedly.
Well, as
I don't believe the game most of the time.
Yeah, maybe. But that's what we observed in the game yesterday. And it's not a fun setup. So it's no wonder that Nathan has decided to forfeit a single point. That is not a race setup.
I mean, it's gonna protect you into turn 1. I know that.
True, yes. But it's not going to help you throughout the rest of the lap.
No. 2 seconds now between the front two. He's just dipped into the 1.9.
I'm sorry, but Dougie is within half a second of Piney. Is he going to go for the pass this time around?
It looks like he might do. He's burning that
He
battery.
is.
He's got the DRS
Yep,
open. He's
there it
almost
is.
slightly at the back of the McLaren, but he's just got away with it. Well ahead before turn 1. Piney's late on the brakes. He's going to make a move on the inside. He's going to hit him.
A slide. Oh, dear, oh, dear.
I thought we were about to see a move of the century, but unfortunately he's made a bit of contact. He's throwing him off, and he's had to leave that for another day.
Oh, dear. That would have been one hell of a move from Piney Penguin to get the switch back. But I don't think he quite got it correct, unfortunately.
No, it was optimistic, and I think it wasn't too far off. But the tyre wear he just couldn't hold up to the move he was trying to pull off there.
It was a good idea. It just didn't come off for him, unfortunately.
1.5 seconds gap between the RB and Aston in second and first. 1.3 now, as he's got to be in the slipstream of Sandidam coming into turn 1.
Sandidam is charging his battery by the look of it. His light was flashing down the start-finish straight.
Not by choice, unfortunately.
Okay, fair enough. Whereas I think Kev is doing the slightly more smart move where he is recharging through corners. I did see him. Yep, he's flashing there. So he is regaining the battery under braking and just charging up the battery as he goes throughout the lap.
Yeah, I think the tyre advantage as well as the slipstream advantage is just keeping his battery a little bit better and Sandidam out in front in that untouched air. He's got to punch through a massive hole for the RB to slip through.
So, are we going to see the move on this lap, or is Kev going to be patient and wait until the penultimate lap?
Penguin. Personally, I'm doing it as soon as possible. The advantage of those medium tyres is not going to last forever. And well, if we look at potential track limits warnings, if I've got a few, I want to get a move on.
That is true.
DRS open, battery is being burnt, no expense into turn one is going to have a massive advantage by the time he gets there. Sanderdam's not going to fight this one too hard. He was too far back really to fight it anyway. The tyre disadvantage he's going to hope can swing back in his favour within these last few laps. He's got a little bit of battery as we enter lap 27. I think he should be able to maintain this distance, hopefully, throughout Sector 2 and the beginning of Sector 3 before those last couple of corners and the DRS. But already there's a slight gap forming, which can happen anyway when you've got turns like this all the way through Sector 2.
Yeah, it usually happens, especially when you have the wake of the car ahead going through corners. It means you have to brake a little bit more going into a corner. You have to turn slightly earlier. You might have to compromise your line ever so slightly, just so that you can get through the corner safely.
Yes, Sanderdam's entered a little bit of a panic mode here. He's burnt all the battery he's got. He's not making a move into turn one this time, I wouldn't think. But that DRS is going to keep him in the 0.8, whatever it is, 0.8 second gap, hopefully, all the way into turn one. Kev's going to not weave, but he's going to try and get out of the way.
He's trying to
minimize the slipstream
yeah,
that Sanderdam can keep on him. This is going to be a tricky one.
And Pablo, in the chat, I'm going to say it. You're mentioning people's names again.
Stop it.
You are going
Andre's
to cause him a
15 seconds
problem.
behind. 15 seconds. Can we appreciate that is the gap that Kev has put on him with that tyre
To be
advantage?
fair, it's also the gap that Sanderdam has put on him.
That's true. That's true.
And Sanderdam, granted, is probably, apart from Almanac, one of the fastest EU3 drivers I've seen. As we have,
Sanderdam for me has to be second fastest.
As we have Piney Penguin into the pits, I reckon that was to change his wing, and he's onto the soft tyres.
Yeah, he's actually a bit late, I think.
I think he's going to try and go for fastest lap, which he will be able to do, because we are on lap 28 when he comes across
the
the
leaders
line.
haven't quite caught up to him just yet.
So he's got out just in time for going for the fastest lap.
Charlie's trying to make me remember all these things, and my old man brain seems to just not remember any of it.
I'm not going to mention your age, but you are not an old man.
No. I'm not an old man. My old man brain.
Oh, you mean your smooth
My old man
brain?
memory.
Right, okay.
That's the one. Yeah. Oh no. 1.03 seconds. 1.0. 0.9. 1.0. 1.1. It's ebbing and flowing between the DRS section. 1.3 now. I think Sanderdam's going to have to let this one go.
Pablo, you do this every week.
God's sake, Pablo. I span you turn 3. Turn 3? 1, 2, 3. Really? That's impressive. I span you turn 3.
Oh, your friend is in the chat.
Ah, of course, insulted me. To be fair, I insulted more.
Yeah, fair enough.
Well, Kev in the RB as he rounds the final corner, an absolutely stellar second stint on the medium tyres to get that P1 as he crosses the line. Sanderdam is going to wipe the tear from his cheek. Led for so long, P2 will have to do for now. Andre will be happy with the podium, despite him being almost 18 seconds off.
Piney adding to his tally
Oh,
on the last lap.
That invalidates all attempt at the fastest lap, does it not?
I don't know.
We'll see. We'll see.
As Nilby gets ahead of 427 on penalties. Then we have Dougie coming across in 6th. Look at this, Pablo. Your boy, Real Ashton Army, coming home in 7th.
7th with a buttload of battery. 100%. Didn't want to use that. Maybe he forgot where the button was. He's going to celebrate over the line. This is very cheeky, although I'm sure Piney won't overtake him with almost half a minute of penalties. So you've got plenty of time to do all the celebrating he wants. Go back and do some donuts, honestly. Piney Penguin with the fastest lap, 1:24.2. That's... I'm sure that was the fastest lap previous. That's got to only be a few hundreds, or not, if not thousands, faster than Kev's time.
We do have to remember he did make a mistake and get a 3-second penalty on that final lap. So
this is true.
He probably was going to be faster if he could have kept it on the track. So because I forgot to run RLT again, because I'm a fool.
Great streamer.
Yeah, I'm a perfect streamer.
Good.
Oh, doesn't want to take the screenshot. That's not good. There we go.
Oh yeah.
So there is your finishing lineup. So we have Kev on P1. We have Sandadan P2, Andre P3, Nilby P4, 427 P5, Dougie P6, Ashton 7th, Heavy in 8th, passing Piney Penguin because of his immense amount of penalties, and 1 DNF, the unfortunate Nathan, because he decided to be Charlie for the night. So,
yeah.
Are we inviting drivers for the...
I have sent out I've added Kev. Kev's agreed. Finally, we've got an interview.
Someone has decided to jump in for an interview. Maybe it's because he came first instead of...
It's been weeks.
It has been...
Okay, well, we've got at least one for you.
It has been such a long time.
Where are you, Kev?
So we have... it was Andre in 3rd. I doubt we're going to have Andre join us, because he's not the keenest on joining due to his English, as far as I remember. Charlie, that's not very polite. I meant he tried to be you for the night by taking your setup. Not because you spin or anything at Qatar, because of Grallis. So we are just waiting for the top 3 to confirm whether they are going to join us for interviews. In the chat, how did you enjoy the race? It was a small group of drivers, but I think it was relatively entertaining. Even if it was just me and Grallis talking over a very spread out field for the majority. Let's see. Okay, so we have Kev. Do we have any other drivers? Andre has declined.
Andre's declined, but he might be writing us a message that I can read out. Sanderdam has not responded, so I'll keep on that if you want to ask a few questions.
Yeah, that's no problem. Welcome into the comms booth again, Kev. How was that race for you?
Very sweaty, and yeah, it was good. I enjoyed it. I thought the strategy call was always going to be the best, to switch to the mediums later. Just the extra pace with a lighter fuel load. Yeah, that was my plan all along. I just thought it was the best strategy all along. So yeah, I think that's what's won with the race. To be honest, is the strategy, because I don't think I had the pace of was it
Sanderdam.
I can't say it. Yes, that guy. Sorry, I can't say his name. I apologise. But yeah, I don't think I quite had his pace tonight. But yeah, I think I just got the strategy call right. So yeah, I'm happy with that.
It seemed like you had a relatively decent first stint, keeping yourself within the reaches of the cars ahead.
Yeah.
And then as soon as you came in from your hard stint onto those mediums, both me and Grellis sort of sat here and said to each other, he's going to be putting in fast laps now.
I was licking my lips, mate.
So yeah, we kind of we know that is an alternate strategy, but in a race like this one, it's one of the setups and strategies that really comes into play in the final laps. As long as you keep yourself clean, you don't make mistakes, you know that you're going to be extremely fast towards the end of the race. And you showed that pretty much perfectly.
Yeah, definitely. I think it helped with having a bit of a smaller field. I thought, well, chances of a safety car are really low. So that was what would have really hurt the strategy, I think. If I'd have gone if I'd have just come in and then they got a safety car, it would have been, wouldn't have been great for me. But it's worked out for me tonight, which is fantastic. It's funny that you should say no mistakes, because I was watching Liverpool and then I looked up and I was heading towards the gravel trap at turn 1.
I saw you go off.
Yeah, it cost me.
I thought something had happened.
It cost me five seconds.
The only mistake that you did make was watching Liverpool.
Yeah, definitely. I know, that was frustrating. Other than that, the race was great, but the frustration of trying to watch the football was absolutely killing me, because they weren't very good tonight. But hey ho, we live and learn, don't we?
At least you got one win tonight.
Yeah, fantastic. Thank you very much, guys. Hope it was entertaining for you.
Oh, believe me, towards the end, we were salivating to see if you would catch Sanderdam and to see if you would pass him. So yeah, it kept us very much entertained, especially towards the end. And yeah,
that's great.
Very well done. Congratulations for the win.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I was a bit sceptical that I was going to catch him, to be honest. I didn't think I had it, but one of my friends joined my stream and said, "You're going to get him on lap 27." And he called it perfectly in the end. So, yeah, it was great.
I think your friend is either clairvoyant or an extremely good F1 engineer. You should get them in your stream, in your ear during races in future, just to make sure that you don't miss out on another podium.
Yeah, it's his full-time job now. He doesn't know yet, but I'll tell him.
Grellis, are we going to have any other drivers for interviews tonight?
We are not having any join us, but I've got a short message from Andre. First of all, he says congratulations to Kev for the win, and also to Sanderdam for the P2. He's got a bit of fighting talk going on here. He says if it wasn't for the tyre wear, the high tyre wear that is, probably caused by the car's bad settings, it would have been P1.
Ooh, right.
So we will see Andre put his money where his mouth is next week.
Yeah, definitely.
EU3, 9 p.m. on Tuesday. Again, I am going to now plug the rest of the tiers. So tomorrow night we have EU2 at 9 p.m. GMT. I will be taking part. I'm not sure if Grellis is going to be taking part in that tomorrow, but we are also going to have the likes of Charlie in that race as well. After that, it will be AM2 at 9 p.m. EST. And then on Thursday, we will have EU1 at 9 p.m. GMT and AM1 as well. So, thank you everyone for watching the stream. And I hope everyone enjoyed and have a wonderful evening.
Welcome back to Contest to Speed.
Contest to speed.
Contest to speed.
Contest of speed.